Hi everyone, today we're going to be replacing the HVAC blower motor on a second generation Acura RDX. The model we're going to be working on today is a 2017 model, but the process is going to be the same for all second generation Acura RDXs ranging from 2015 to 2018. Before we get started, the only piece of tool that you will need is a screwdriver with a T20 bit. Now you want the screwdriver to be as short and stubby as possible because we're going to be working under the glove compartment here, and the space under there is going to be limited. So if you have a bigger screwdriver like this one, it simply wouldn't fit under the glove compartment area. Now, if you don't have something short and stubby like this, one thing you could do is to just grab your T20 bit and then hold it with a set of pliers or adjustable wrenches like this. And then you can fit this underneath the part and unscrew the T20 screws. Another tool that's not strictly necessary but it's nice to have is a plastic trim removal tool like this. The reason that this is useful is because we're going to be removing the plastic panel down here, and there's a little gap here where you can put your finger in between and try to take the panel apart, but it's quite small, so you may not be able to get a firm grip on it. So if you have a trim remover tool like this, you can simply fit it inside the gap and use it to pry it open. Now the blower motor is located underneath the glove compartment behind this piece of plastic cover down here. So in order to take off this piece of plastic cover, there are 4 plastic retainer clips along the front of this panel, and in order to loosen them, all you have to do is pull this panel piece straight downwards and these plastic clips would disengage. And if you look further underneath this piece of plastic panel, you notice there's a cutout down here. So this is a good location for you to grab a hold of and to help you pull this panel down. So now let's go ahead and remove this panel. Now that we have successfully unclipped these plastic retainer clips, you notice that this panel is still held together by something, and that is down here on the side. There's an actual piece here that goes behind this carpeted cover here on the center console, and all we have to do is loosen this carpeted cover here. We do not have to take this entire piece out, and to loosen it, simply pull on it until you hear the clip disengage, and that's all we need to do. Now we can start wiggling this piece out of there. Now that this piece of plastic panel is out here, we can see that at the front are the 4 plastic retainer clips, and on the side, this is the piece that's being held by the side panel near the center console that we just loosened up. And if you look at the back here, you notice there are 2 tips over here with a rubber covering. So when you're taking it off, there is a chance this rubber covering may fall off. You want to make sure that you keep these, because if you don't have this rubber covering on there, this is going to rattle against the plastic brackets that's holding the back of this panel together. So when you start driving, this panel is going to start to cause some rattling around. So now with the cover off, we can go underneath and look at where the blower motor is. So this here is the blower motor. This is what we're going to be replacing. You will see that there are 3 T20 screws holding it together, 2 at the front and 1 at the back. And at the back here is where you need the stubby screwdriver because there's very little space there for a bigger screwdriver. Now in order to remove the blower motor, the first thing we gotta do is come to the side and remove this electrical connector here. In order to remove this electrical connector, you'll notice that there is a little tab over here. So all you have to do is press this little tab in, and while it is pressed in, pull straight back or down on the white plastic plug. As you can see, it may take you some wiggling to remove this electrical plug here, but just make sure when you're trying to take it off, hold it on the plastic part here instead of pulling it on the wire, because we don't want to risk damaging the wires within here when you're wriggling it around. And now we can remove the 3 screws and replace this thing. And there we go. The old unit is out here on the left. Here's a new unit that I bought on Part Avatar. They claim this to be an OE replacement part. Well, I noticed it's made by a different manufacturer. You can see the original one is made by the Japanese company Denso, but the new one is made by a different company. But they look pretty much identical, so let's see how well this new part works. When you put the new part back in, the key thing is you want to line up this little opening here against, you want it to fit nicely against this little opening on the blower motor. So when you put everything back in, everything should fit in nice and easy. And if you feel any resistance or things are not lined up, just wiggle it around or take it out completely and put it back in to try to line everything up. You shouldn't be forcing anything into position. Everything should line up quite easily. I've put the replacement part back in and tightened the 3 screws holding it back together. The final thing to do here is to plug in this electrical connector. There's only one way that this connector will fit, so you just push it in until you hear the click. Before we put the plastic cover back up over there, it's always nice to run the car and test out the HVAC system to make sure the new part is actually working, so that way we don't have to take everything apart again if it doesn't work. So now the car is on. I'm going to turn the fan to the maximum setting. We have air coming out, no weird noises, and I can hear that the blower motor is running. Everything seems to be fine. So now we can put the plastic cover back up. Now we're ready to put the plastic cover back up. So in order to put it back in, these 2 little bits here will fit into these 2 rectangular brackets over here. And then the little extra piece on the side will go behind here. Now everything is lined up perfectly for me, all I have to do is push these plastic clips back in. There we go. And then lastly, don't forget that we loosen this little panel here. So for the last step, we will need to push this back in. Once you hear the click, that means everything is in place. And there we go. This is how to replace the HVAC blower motor on a second generation Acura RDX. It's quite an easy job, only took me about 10 minutes to do. And I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider giving the video a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.